So let us try to understand this perspective on Har Ghar Jal, water, overall the theme of water. So how they're trying to build argument on water as an issue. So gracious be divine waters for our protection, be there for our drink, and stream on us bliss and happiness. So this is the Rigveda talking about the importance of water. Gracious be divine waters for our protection, be there for our drink, stream on us bliss and happiness. This is the perspective of water, that water is, there to protect us. Water, is quenches our thirst. It is giving us happiness in a way by quenching the thirsty person. So this is a perspective which is starting with a quote. So water stress is being experienced across the world. Again, SCQR framework we can see. So situation water stress is being experienced across the world, with increasing spells of droughts, desertification, and inequitable access to water. So this perspective, they're trying to give the current situation that water stress is taking place right across the world, with increasing spells of drought, desertification, and inequitable access to water. So assured availability of potable water, so giving potable water is vital for human development. Now talk about the importance. Why this? So we must try to link water to the highest thing, that is human development. So potable is vital for human development, and then sustainable development goals is, and also link it to the SDG. That is also broader umbrella. That is a larger goal. So SDG 6 of ensuring access to water and sanitation for all involves reaching to people who lack basic services and improving accessibility. For water management to be sustainable, so if it has to be sustainable, again, if it has to be sustainable, then it has to be planned with a people-centric strategy. So there must be a people-centric strategy, social inclusion, as we talked about in the earlier, about the three pillars of sustainable development: is economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. So, as part of social inclusion, it must be people-centric, so that it ensures their participation. So, broadly, in this, talking about the situation of water, why it is vital for human development, the goal of SDG in the current context, and who needs them, and why, how it should be, how the water management should be. Again, coming to the present context, they're always giving the present context, that is pandemic. The COVID pandemic has, where the COVID pandemic, when people realized that washing hands was the least. So again, the importance of water in the current context, always highlighting that, was the least and best defense available to them for almost a year. So washing, keeping ourselves sanitized, washing hands became a new idea, was released, and the best defensive, available for almost a year, re-emphasize the value. So this aspect, this evidence, re-emphasize the value of clean and accessible water in our lives, and also running tap water. So running tap water is critical for to meet this aspect of sanitation and hygiene. So linking it to the aspect of hygiene, sanitation, human development, sustainable development, COVID mitigation. Prime Minister has envisaged it to be envisaged it way before this pandemic, when he announced in August 2019 to take tap water to every household through Jal Jeevan Mission. So the initiative aims to provide tap water connection to every rural household in the country by 2024. So giving tap water, it also implements. Apart from that, just giving some points about the mission. It aims to provide tap water connection to every rural household in the country by 2024. It also implements source sustainability measures. So this is the key, source sustainability measures as mandatory elements, such as recharge, reuse, through grey water management should be done, water conservation, and rainwater harvesting. So there's aspect of recycle, recharge, and reuse. So grey water management is what it is also a part of reuse, recycle, water conserving. So, and then rainwater harvesting. These are some aspects which it also focuses upon tangentially. So Jal Jeevan Mission, as we said, it is a community approach. For it to be sustainable, it has to be community driven. Always keep in mind community approach, creating Jan Andolan, just like how Swachh Bharat Abhiyan created an Andolan, Jan Andolan for water, thereby making it everyone's priority. The key challenge. Now comes the complication. In the SCQR framework, I told the situation, I told the role of the mission, and then the key challenge is to ensure the sustainability of water supply systems. So, as you know, there is a this is a challenge. Make it sustainable. Water supply. It has recognized this fundamental flaw in the water infrastructure of sustainability is the flaw in water infrastructure projects and has stressed that its objective is sustainability so that water continues to flow in pipes and taps. So sustainability is focused so that there is continuous supply of water. So Jal Jeevan Mission aims to reach all rural households by 2024, which is 6 years well ahead of SDG, that is 2030 target. Could become a model for other developing countries to adapt such practices and achieve SDG. So now Jal Jeevan Mission 2024 can become a model for other countries. So its predecessor, that is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, had already done the groundwork in terms of bringing sanitation to the forefront, made country open defecation free. So we are trying to see the policies in a chain, in a sequence. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan giving emphasis on sanitation, and then for that you need water, Jal Jeevan Mission. Now Swachh Bharat 2.0 is taking to the next level by making necessary interventions in biodegradable solid waste management. So now moving next step forward, not only constructing toilet, but also management, solid waste management, water, grey water management, fecal sludge management. So going to the next level in terms of recycling the waste management, etc. Now, to give the current situation, that India is the largest user of groundwater. We know that we are the largest user of groundwater in the world, more than quarter of the available global resources, almost 25, more than 25% of the available global resources we are using in terms of groundwater. But groundwater role, just talk about the role of groundwater in ensuring food security of the country. So again, one positive dimension is that it is critical to involve women again. Here, bring the inclusion, specifically women, in decision making at all stages of planning. So where you have to involve women in all stages, starting from planning, implementation, management, operation, maintenance. So this is a cycle. You plan, you implement, you manage, operation and maintenance also. Till that level, women should be involved of drinking water supply schemes. Women across the country need to be engaged in rural water drinking water supply schemes consciously for long-term water security in villages. So Atal Bhujal Yojana is one more scheme apart from Jal Jeevan Mission that trying to pick up is Atal Bhujal Yojana. So it's one such initiative that demonstrates community-led sustainable groundwater management. Yes, again, community-led sustainability is there. Groundwater management taken to scale. The major objective of the scheme is to improve the management of groundwater resources to convergence. So here, the aspect of convergence of various ongoing schemes. It is pioneering a unique experiment involving stakeholders to bring about convergence, innovative reform in the management of groundwater by energizing the local communities. Again, local community social inclusion, and then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana is there. The mentioned is on micro irrigation has objective to enhance water use efficiency. So here they're trying to improve the water use efficiency. So in the agriculture sector, by promoting appropriate technology interventions, maybe like drip, sprinkler, encouraging farmers to use water saving and conservation techniques. Right. So armed with the four-pronged vision of accelerating irrigation benefit program, AIBP, Harket Kopani, per drop, more drop, watershed development. So this scheme aims to bridge the gap between the potential micro irrigation potential of the micro irrigation potential in the country. So it is interesting to note how Indian experience has been invaluable in teaching the world how water management can be invented to make it affordable and sustainable. So these initiatives put water in the hands of communities. So they are the owners and are focused on decentralized uh, and decentralized recharge and reuse, thus making water everybody's business. So if you see how through Jal Jeevan Mission they're trying to convey the current situation, problem of water, linking it to the larger role of larger goal, umbrella, governing idea, human development, SDG. In the current context, bring in COVID, current context, bring COVID, and then focus more on the cycle, the recycle, reuse. For that, you need grey water conservation, rainwater harvesting. Then talk about few schemes in specific: Jal Jeevan Mission, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and then Atal Bhujal Yojana and the Krishi Sinchai Yojana, because agriculture is involved. Agriculture, a major consumer of water, and then the aspect of community-led participation, making sustainable community-led. So these aspects are touched upon. So again, very simple and simple way of writing. So beginning with another broader topic is India at 75. So India is built on the hopes, aspirations, and dreams of over 1.5 billion citizens. Again, this specifically focuses on the hopes, aspiration, and dreams of 1.5 billion people. So, situation where we would like to see India. So, it's providing avenues of opportunities through policy initiatives, planning, and effective implementation can work as a catalyst to build new India. So, for building a new India, we must provide avenues, opportunities. There must be policy initiatives, there must be planning, effective implementation. So, this transformation is envisaged on the pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Trust, Digital India, Skill India, among many others. So our independence was a see now we're talking about 75 years of what independence was a result of the efforts of thousands of freedom fighters. So they have sacrificed. We are indebted, to those great souls. So we must thank them. This is the gratitude part of the writing. We're indebted to the great souls like Gandhi, Ambedkar, Sardar Patel, and numerous visionaries who dedicated their life towards this cause. This issue reflects upon the trials and tribulations of these 75 years, the road ahead, how we have to see how we have come forward, from the past 75 years, and ahead how we have to progress towards being an economic superpower, in terms of maybe infrastructure, global leader, as well as leading a $5 trillion economy. As an ode to this glorious journey, a 75-week-long celebration to commemorate India at 75 will kickstart this year. This is a tribute to the spirit of India in each sphere of life. It highlights the contribution towards various sectors, people. So we have tried to bring out a collectible issue and are extremely grateful to our esteemed authors who took out the time to share their views and vision of the subject. This is probably the first time when the likes of President, Vice President, Governor, ISRO chiefs, along with the best minds of the field, wrote together in journal for desk. This desk was fortunate to have opportunity to weave them and collect vision uh, for New India they dream of. The world has now coming to the see the world where it is. The world has entered a new decade with expectations of healing this year of the pandemic. This is an opportune time for India to be at the forefront in leading the global and regional strategies. So we must try to lead the global and regional strategies. We must strengthen the brand India through Make in India, invest in India, ease of doing business, a better infrastructure, digital India. So being vocal, for local, and by projecting India's soft power, including things such as spiritual and cultural connect, maybe through yoga, heritage, tourism, and cinema globally. So this brand India, what does brand India entail? This they have spelled out, and public participation, as we know, is key to the success of any initiative because it has to have a community-driven approach. So Swachh Bharat is a recent example of its phenomenal feat, is due to the fact that from a government-led initiative, so largely driven from top down, it transformed itself into a people-led movement. It became a Jan Andolan, of its own sorts. So the India we see today will be surely different from India our grandchildren will get. The onus is on us to hand over a country which they shall be proud of. It's a part of future responsibility, is part of sustainable development, because the trade-off between present and the future. It's a blend of modernity. They shall be proud of the blend of modernity we have embraced, traditions we have preserved, infrastructure we have developed, services and growth opportunities we have provided, and for the development and sustainability, self-sufficient we have become and imbibing worldview. So intellectual and rational. So that the noble thoughts come to us from all the sides. So this should be the perspective towards seeing India in future, India at 75. Now, this write up talks about the budget in general. Let us see how author has tried to sum up the entire budget in the editorial. So, in the first budget speech, so we start from the historical perspective. In the first budget speech of Free India, the then Finance Minister R.K. Shanmugam Chetty has said, if economy of this country is to be placed on a sound footing and maintained in a healthy condition, it is of utmost importance to increase internal production. So we must know. be self-reliant. That's what the idea is. We must produce internally for ourselves. We therefore have to fall back on our own resources. So we must have the potential to generate own resources. So the budget 2021 too lays emphasis on making the country self-reliant. So it's connecting is it bring a base that know that lays importance on self-reliance. While presenting the budget document, the finance minister emphasized that budget proposals will further strengthen the Sankalp of Nation First, doubling farmers' income, strong infrastructure, healthy India, good governance, opportunities for youth, education for all, women empowerment, and inclusive development. So these are the areas in which one should talk when we see the overall nation. For example, we have agriculture dominant thing. That's why they're talking about doubling farmers' income. Infrastructure should improve. That's why we're talking about strong infrastructure. COVID is a context. That's why we're seeing healthy India, and then good governance. Governance is the root cause of all problems. Focusing on governance, and because of the demographic dividend, we must also focus on the youth perspective. Education, the new education policy driving the change, women empowerment due to its social angle, and inclusive development because of the overall sustainable thing. So how they summarize the entire thing. So resonating with the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the budget laid down six pillars of health and well-being, physical and financial capital, infrastructure, inclusive development for aspirational India, reinvigorating the human capital, innovation and R&D, minimum government, maximum governance. So in every aspect, they're trying to extract a bit more. For example, in education, we talk broadly about human capital, talk about innovation and R&D, talk about minimum government and maximum governance. So this should be the pillars of the budget. So there is substantial increase in investment in health infrastructure because of the current context, and a new centrally sponsored scheme in addition to the National Health Mission, that is Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat Yojana. It was launched to develop capacities of primary, secondary, and tertiary healthcare systems, strengthen existing national institutions, and create new institutions. So, again, institution building is taking place to cater to the detection and cure of new emerging diseases. So, to address the nutrition, as we know, nutrition we lack poorly in terms of global hunger index, etc. There is supplementary nutrition program and Poshan Abhiyan and launch the Mission Poshan 2.0. The government aims to adopt an intensified strategy to improve nutritional outcomes across 117, 112 aspirational districts. Again, the specific focus is given. Jal Jeevan Mission Urban will be launched for universal water supply in the urban local bodies. We have discussed about rural mission and 2.86 crore household tap connections, as well as liquid and solid liquid waste management in Amrut cities. Also tackle the problem of air pollution. So one, there is talking problem and they're giving solution. To tackle the problem of air pollution, it was proposed, an amount of so and so crore with a million plus population is budget. The finance minister said that the 5 trillion economy, for 5 trillion economy, manufacturing sector has to grow in double digits on a sustained basis, and manufacturing companies need to become integral part of global supply chain. So not only becoming part of global supply chain, they must also possess core competencies in terms of technology, cutting edge technology. So to achieve all of the above, they have launched PLI scheme, production linked incentive to create manufacturing global champions for Atmanirbhar Bharat have been announced for 13 sectors. So PLI scheme towards building competencies, connecting part of global supply chain. This initiative will help bring scale. So since it is production linked incentive, try to achieve the scale and size in key sectors, create and nurture global champions, and provide uh, jobs to the youth, part of demographic dividend. So on the infrastructure for that was manufacturing. So how you can see one area is trying picking up. So infrastructure front, more than 13,000 kilometer roads have been awarded under Bharat Mala Pariyojana project by end of March 2022, and another 8,500 kilometer is to be awarded to complete the additional 11,000 kilometers of national highway corridor. The two new technologies such as Metro Light and Metro New will be developed to provide metro rail systems at much lesser cost with the same experience and convenience in tier 2 cities and peripheral areas of tier 1 cities. So this is will give comfort and reduce the time of travel, reduce pollution also because of metro. Under the pillar of inclusive development for aspirational India, agriculture. We should talk about agriculture and allied sectors, farmers' welfare in rural India, migrant workers and labor workers. See, look at the areas they're touching. So agriculture, allied sectors, core area, rural India, core area, migrant workers, current context, financial inclusion were predominantly covered with slow measures. So, keeping the vision of national education policy in mind, 50,000 schools will be qualitatively strengthened and 100 new Sainik schools will be set up in partnership with NGOs and states. It was also proposed to set up Higher Education Commission of India. So, this Higher Education Commission of India will be an umbrella body, having four separate vehicles for standard setting, accreditation, regulation, and funding. So this is very content heavy because they have to spell out entire budget. So under the last of the six pillars of budget, it was proposed to take a number of steps to bring reforms in tribunals. So tribunals, as we know, is important for speedy delivery of justice. They've told the direct objective, and to take further measures for to rationalize the functioning of tribunals. So on the fiscal position, it was underlined that the pandemic's impact on economy resulted in a weak revenue inflow. So once the health situation stabilized and the lockdown was slowly lifted, government spending was ramped up to revive the domestic demand, and that the government plans to continue the path of fiscal consolidation. So the union budget seeks to simplify the tax administration, litigation management, and ease the compliance of direct tax administration. So this was this, and then there are certain proposals like indirect proposals focuses on custom duty rationalization, as well as rationalization of procedures and easing of compliance. Senior citizens were provided relief in filing of IT returns, reducing time limit for income tax proceedings, announced setting up a dispute resolution committee, faceless ITAT, relaxation to NRIs, increase in investment exemption limit from audit and relief for divided incomes. So uh, a new world order. So again, try to put the current context. A new world order, seems to be emerging post COVID pandemic. So this is line of thought which we can always keep, and India will have a leading role to play in that world order. The economic survey highlights the crucial role of investments, particularly social infrastructure, in economic growth and government's commitment towards investment in social sector in order to bring overall improvement in socio-economic indicators and achieving the SDGs. So again, linking to the SDG part. So, however, it does not miss to remind the COVID-19 has raised unprecedented health challenges. So bring the challenge. It has brought unprecedented health challenge. It has overburdened the health infrastructure, posing a unique dilemma. The budget proposals aim to lay a renewed thrust on promoting the principle of minimum government, maximum governance, as well as improving the ease of business and ease of living. So this budget document, budget editorial, is very content heavy. So in content heavy essays, we must be to the point with many content data. We must be providing as this write up is suggesting.